Hello, everybody. I'm John Mello, and I help people build apps using no-code tools like Bubble, Integromat, AppSheet. I have my own software idea that I'm building out now, and I want to document my road to my first 1,000 users. Coming into app development, especially if you come from a non-technical background, there is a ton of mistakes that you make if you're building your first app, right? There's a certain mentality I think that you need to have that's well documented in books like if you read something like The Lean Startup or The Mom Test, and more recently I'm reading a book called The Minimalist Entrepreneur. They're all built on these fundamental principles of app development, and probably the most central core thing that everybody seems to ignore when they first start building an app is feedback is king. Feedback is everything. If you're testing out a new idea, the only currency, the only thing that you should be concerned about is user feedback. People getting caught up on, will this app scale? Is my design okay? Or do I have the right colors here? What's my company logo going to be? What am I going to call this? No one gives a fuck. No one cares until you are solving a problem for them. And I want to see if these principles that I believe to be true are are real, because I haven't actually put any of these into practice. I tell people these things, but proof is in the pudding. I have to do it myself in order to really be able to back up what I'm saying. I'm plugged into the Twitter no code community, and a common problem that everyone seems to come up with is scope creep, right? So clients asking for additional features that is outside of the scope. They usually don't really understand what the overall impact on the app is, how much work it is. So a lot of times the developer doesn't know how much work is before they accept the request and wind up doing more work than they were being paid for. So this is a problem that I have. So I'm solving for my own problem in the hopes that other people have this problem as well, right? And my community of people that I'm going to test this idea out in is the no code Twitter community, because that's where I already have friends there. I have a lot of people that I could just kind of easily reach out to and just say, hey, I think you have this problem. This is my solution to it. Tell me what you think, or use it. Okay, so this is it, right? So to give you a sense of how long I've been working on this, I had the idea at the beginning of 2022, started building probably like mid-January, so January 15th. As of this recording, it's the 22nd right now. So I haven't been working on this relatively very long, right? So I just started the build, and you can see it looks like shit. There's really not a whole lot going on here. It's very minimal, but it does demonstrate the problem that I'm trying to solve. Right? When you understand how to build applications, whether that's through traditional code or no code, that stuff starts to get easier over time. What never gets easier, or what never is fast, is understanding what's in the client's head. Right? You have to understand what they're asking at a very deep level, and you need to be able to communicate back to them why or why not this isn't possible at this point, why or why not it's not a good idea to work on, or we should focus on this versus this. That client interaction is probably the most time consuming part of app development. So I'm trying to minimize that with this tool. And like I said, this looks like dog shit right now. I'm aware of that. This looks like it's from the 90s. Yet I have 5 users already. It's me, and I've got 4 other clients that are already using this. How did I get that so fast? I probably launched this like last week. In a matter of 5 days, I have 5 users already that are already giving me feedback, because I didn't wait. I just put it out there and said, "Hey, I think we have this problem. I think we can fix this. Use this tool and tell me what you think." Right? And I've got a feedback mechanism built right into the tool, right? So if they click to add another scope, they can assign this feedback about scope tool. So I can even quantify the type and the amount of feedback that I'm getting, and see how that plays into the larger success of the app. Success is users is an obvious one, right? I want to get to 1,000 users. Paid users, that's going to be interesting, because I'm building this more for the developer, freelancer, agency side of things. That's the problem that they're solving. I'm really solving their problem. So those are the people that I expect to pay me for this. Clients are kind of the they're the other end of this tool, but I wouldn't expect a client to pay me money to use this. This is my tool. It makes my life easier. So users, paid users. And then I also, because I don't feel like anyone has really documented this process up until this point, there are a bunch of books out there, but they're always ad hoc. They're not happening while the person is learning and iterating and changing the app, how it looks, the functionality in real time, right? I want to document the process, the road to 1,000 users in the hopes that other people don't make the same mistakes that I do. And I can kind of prove that no one cares about the design of your app, or at least the look and feel of it, which I believe is UX, user experience. I always get that confused with UI. No one cares about the UX in the beginning. So stop focusing on that. All you're after, all you want to know is whether you're solving a problem that people care about. You can do that with something ugly, right? I'm aware that the social media stuff is kind of like vanity metrics, but I do want to keep track of who's engaging with this content and am I reaching an audience? Because I see the same mistakes happening with the clients that I work with the people that come through the Bubble boot camps. They're usually focused on some hyper-specific functionality that they can't release until they get it just right, or they're embarrassed by the way that their app looks, which I think really just comes down to insecurity, right? I do this myself, so this is not unique to, I'm not putting it on other people. It's me too. I do this as well. I hold back because I'm scared how they're going to think I'm a shitty developer if this looks a certain way or it doesn't do this. The reality is you don't know what to focus on at the beginning. You're not sure. The only way that you're going to learn that is if you put it in people's hands. So if you put 3 hours into building, send it out. See what people say. If they say it looks like shit and I won't use this because it looks like shit, then maybe put some effort into your design. But other than that, I can almost guarantee that that's not the first thing that they're going to say with people. Right now, I have nobody watching these Twitch streams, right? So 0, fucking goose egg. I'm literally talking to myself, right? So I can only go up from here is the way that I'm looking at that. But I want to know if you're building your own applications and what your process is like and if this is helping, right? So give me feedback. All right, that's it for me. Thank you. I will see you Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/bubblehack. I'll put a link in the description. Later.